Welcome to Game of Books with Cathi in South Dakota.
That's me, and Christy in South Florida.
That's me. We're two newbie writers sharing our take on wine, food, and mystery books.
And the authors who write them. Join us for the fun.
Well, hello, Cathi. It's been a while since we recorded the upcoming Corks in Conversation with Elaine Viets.
I know. Good to talk to you again. Mm-hmm. It was a hot minute ago that we did this at Sleuthfest, and it was lovely, and I'm very excited to share it with all of our listeners.
I know. I want to hear it again because, that was our first one. We were so nervous. And remember, it was in the bookstore. So you can hear like people mingling a little bit around in the background. Yeah. And so that was kind of fun. Yeah.
It was Murder on the Beach bookstore, right?
Yes.
Isn't that the name? Okay. Yep. And they are kind enough to come set up an entire bookstore in this hotel. Mm-hmm. And so they allowed us to sit in a little corner of their bookstore where we got to talk to Elaine first, and then we talked to Charles Todd.
Yes.
Also in the bookstore. It was pretty great.
Yep. Yeah. Felt really professional, and those were our first ones, so we were real kind of nervous. So hopefully I'm interested to see how they sound. Looking back on it, we were real happy when we got done.
Elaine was such a pleasure to talk to.
I
mean, she was just awesome.
She's very professional. Like, she's used to work in radio, so she should sound pretty good. Hopefully, we may sound a little funny, but who knows? We'll find out.
Yeah, I'm sure she sounds better. But it was really fun. But because we recorded, I think it was maybe 11:30 or noon. It was in the middle of this busy day. Mm-hmm. We didn't quite get to share a glass of wine with her at that time.
Right. So now we're gonna do that now.
Yes. So what'd you choose for today?
We chose actually. We chose because we had to get something that was up there too, and we chose Fat Bastard, which is a French wine, and I just thought this was so funny because so during this wine tasting, with Guy, who I guess is some British guy, and this is all on the label. I don't know if you read the label. But he, the French winemaker Thierry, exclaimed, "Now that is what you call a fat bastard," right? So he's talking about the wine being round and rich and everything. Oh. And so that's how they came up with the name for this from an interview or whatever. But
that makes me feel so great to know that.
I know.
I mean, that's an awesome story. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah. And on the label, they have a hippopotamus, a topiary of a hippopotamus.
Yeah.
With like made of plants and flowers or whatever. And the reason why we picked that is because originally I picked one that was had a bear on it in reference to something Elaine talks about.
Probably my favorite part of our interview with her, actually.
Yeah. Yeah, so the one with the bear on it you didn't have in South Dakota. So we said, well, bear, hippopotamus. Let's go for
fuzzy animal.
Yeah.
I don't know if I classify a hippopotamus as a fuzzy animal, but regardless, we went with the animal theme.
Yes,
it was a cute animal.
Yes.
And so when we had decided to do the Fat Bastard, I knew we had that in our liquor store. But I, of course, was in a rush when I was trying to pick it up. Can you imagine me being in a rush, right?
I know.
And so I went back to the French section. I didn't see it. So the guy up front said, "Hey, do you need some help?" They're extremely knowledgeable and helpful there. And so I said, "Yeah." And he's like, "Just tell me and I'll point you." So instead of me walking up front, I yelled across the store, "I'm looking for I think I may have said, but I'm looking for a fat bastard." And it didn't occur to me at all what I was saying out loud until it came out of my mouth.
I just wonder how many people in the store were like, going home she just heard this lady yelling. She wanted a fat bastard in the store.
I know. And undoubtedly, it was someone that knew me and Shrimp. Did you see her? You should have heard of which. And apparently, this lady has a southern accent. I'm not sure why. Did you see her? She has. I have a terrible southern accent. Anyway, sorry. So that's the story of the choice for today. But
right. Okay, so let's taste
it. It started as a teddy bear.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be intense. Oh, well, it's cherry red in color with fruit-forward flavors of crushed strawberry and wild raspberry, followed by delicate tannins and a long, smooth finish. So let's see.
Okay.
I taste the strawberry.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
I can taste the fruity.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Sometimes I wonder if we're making these suggestions, and then suddenly I'm thinking, I'm really getting good at this. I can really pull these out. If I had drank that without you telling me about strawberry being there, I'm not sure that I could have pulled it out. Regardless, it's delicious.
That might be true. That might be true.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to, maybe one time we'll
delicious.
have to do a blind one and have the other person.
Oh,
yeah,
that would be fun.
Let's do that next time.
Let's do it. That'd be really fun.
Anyway.
I have to say, I just decided I'm going to start giving Fat Bastard as a gift because it is a really nice wine. I mean, don't you think that's pretty yummy?
And it's
a great label.
And it's
which is so nice. It's a great label.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Yeah.
There
I know. I like it. And I had to go, pick it up today on my way back into town. And luckily, because I had almost a similar situation, I couldn't find it the first time, and so we're kind of re-recording right now. And I knew where it was today, thank goodness, because I was like, where is it? I don't think my store is quite as friendly. They would be like looking at me like I was crazy if I asked for it.
No, they're...
Well, it's a grocery store, so, they would probably really be confused. And there probably were a few fat bastards in the grocery store, so they might have all been like, over here. I don't know.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I have to tell you, speaking of the label, this is perfect, a perfect segue. Mm-hmm. So the label, as you say, has a topiary on it. Uh-huh. Which leads me to tell you, I literally just came in from planting a bunch of plants. I mean, I literally have dirt on my hands.
Oh, that's so nice.
Well, it's a beautiful day here.
I'm starting to picture, I'm starting to picture more green, for so long it's been all I thought of as white.
All white. Yeah. No, it's beautiful. It's 80 degrees and perfect today.
Nice.
But I did buy, I will have to tell my mother-in-law not to listen to this yet, but I did buy a little gift for her, and I bought her a lavender topiary. Oh. And it is the coolest little plant. I'd never seen one before.
Oh, neat.
Yes, and so my husband last night saw this thing, and he said, what is that? And I said, it's a topiary. And he said, a what? And he'd never heard that word before.
Oh, no way.
It was hilarious. And I was like, I don't want to talk about it right now. I just want you to because we're getting ready for graduation. So we're busy. And I just wanted to tote this plant to a spot in my yard. And my husband wanted to have the whole description and conversation about what is a topiary. And I really just didn't want to have it.
Well, now you can tell him, just listen to the podcast. And show him a picture on the front of the wine, because this is supposed to replicate the royal gardens of Marie Antoinette.
Wow. It's just like my yard. I mean, that's exactly like what my yard looks like right now.
Oh my gosh. And yeah. Okay, well, I can't wait. I think you should post some pictures on Instagram of your topiary garden.
It's not a garden. I have lots of plants, but I only have one topiary. But it's funny because I didn't think about it till I started drinking my Fat Bastard.
That's so funny.
Apparently,
what a coincidence, though. Isn't it weird how things like that happen? It
really is.
I mean, what are the odds that your husband would not know what a topiary was last night, and today we're talking about it on podcast, totally unrelated? It's so funny.
And wouldn't let it go. He wouldn't let it go.
Like, I think it was like a new
listen
word.
To this. Yeah, so here I'll be able to show him. Anyway.
Well, cool. So you're getting all ready for graduation, huh?
I am. My daughter graduates from high school next weekend. So when this airs in a week, I know, and this will air the day before my younger daughter's birthday. So we have lots going
I think it airs tomorrow, doesn't it?
Yeah, and her birthday's Saturday, I guess. So yeah, so my younger one turns 17. Boy,
you are crazy busy, aren't you?
It's such fun stuff, though, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're having a party to celebrate at our home outside, counting on the weather, and which is dangerous. But so we're all in a rush to get, you know, all the spring things that you would normally be doing. We're kind of trying to push it up.
Nice. Yeah. I think you should take some pictures. I want to see.
I will take some pictures. I'm planting. I've planted about 30 pots, I think. So I will take some pictures for you.
I don't know where you find time for everything.
I might be exaggerating. Oh, I don't. It doesn't all get done. That's the magic. It just does not all get done.
Yeah.
So, but one thing I am going to get done is I'm going to re-listen to Elaine's podcast. I'm really excited to hear her again.
I know. I'm going to actually sip wine while I'm doing that. How's that?
That's a great idea.
All right.
Cheers. Yeah.
All right. So, good luck, and let's listen to this fun discussion with Elaine.
All right.
Welcome to Game of Books podcast, Corks in Conversation.
We are here at Sleuthfest 2019, the premier mystery writers conference in South Florida, and so very excited to talk to some of the great authors who are holding workshops here for both new and seasoned mystery writers.
Yes, and we're so pleased to be sitting here with Elaine Viets, a faculty author here at Sleuthfest. She's the author of over 30 mysteries. In fact, she has a mystery for every mood. She writes dark mysteries, including the Angela Richman Death Investigator series, the Francesca Verling mysteries. Am I pronouncing that?
Yes, correct? Francesca Verling.
That's a pretty great name, I have to say.
She writes cozy mysteries with the Josie Marcus Mystery Shopper series and traditional humorous mysteries with the Dead End Job series. And she's also written numerous short stories. Her most recent publications were Deal with the Devil and 13 Short Stories, which is a collection of short stories that came out in April of 2018. And Ice Blonde, a dark mystery novella that came out in June of 2018. And among her many awards, she's won the Agatha, Anthony, and Lefty Awards. So, Elaine, we are so happy you are here to talk with us today.
Oh, I'm delighted to be here.
After that.
I know, and that was not even
introduction.
The tip of the iceberg.
I know, I had to take an exhale.
Would you like a drink?
I know, right?
Yes, indeed.
So I'm going to get started right away, picking your brain, because I think you have a lot to tell us.
Yeah.
So you, as we said, you write a mystery for every mood. So do you like to jump between each type of mystery, or do you really immerse yourself in one type of writing for a while and then move on to another?
I immerse myself into one type of writing, and right now I'm doing the darker mystery, which is the Angela Richman series, which is the Death Investigator. And a death investigator is someone who looks into a death, but they work for the medical examiner's office. And so there weren't enough pathologists to go around to be present at a crime scene. So instead, they train death investigators who are not doctors, but have a lot of training. And they go in and they're in charge of the body. And they examine the body from head to toe. They photograph it. They, note any contusions, any wounds.
Is this kind of a new... I guess, not industry, but section of that world?
It's very new. It was started in 1978 in St. Louis.
Oh, okay. Well, I did notice that you went to the Medico-Legal Death Investigator Training course.
Right, which is
for forensic specialists.
Right. It's given by the Department of Pathology at St. Louis University.
Wow.
And they're the ones who started it.
Wow. So you had some blood and guts right
immersed.
There, didn't you?
Well, yes.
You were getting ready for that dark.
Let's just say I didn't eat spaghetti for about a month, okay?
And now I won't either. That's perfect. That is hilarious.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's funny. So you are very prolific. Oh, I'm jumping in.
That's okay.
Okay.
That's okay.
Well, I'll go back to what I was thinking first. So you have all these different types. Now you're on the dark mystery. Do you have different agents for the different types?
No, I have one agent, and 2 of my series I'm currently not writing anything. They are stopped, and they're being reissued, and that's the Dead End Job series and the Josie Marcus Mystery series. And the Dead End Job is 15 novels, and the Josie is 10.
It's amazing.
I know.
And I feel that I said everything I could say.
Right.
And I didn't want to be one of those people with, oh God, is that series still going on?
Stop when you're ahead, right? Is another way to say that.
I stopped while I still got good reviews.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's fun to go out, like you said, and switch to the dark side.
Right.
But you said they're being reissued.
They're being reissued. My agency is Jabberwocky. It's in New York. And they're reissuing it with new covers as ebooks and also as trade paper.
Okay.
So really, it's a chance to find a whole new group of adoring readers.
We hope.
Yes, that's right. That's right, readers. We're listening. I love the concept behind the Dead End Job. I thought that was hilarious. And because when I was reading your website, you're like, I've done all these jobs, and I thought, oh my goodness.
I've done a lot of dead end jobs too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's probably why.
That's why we decided to write about things, right?
I think everybody, particularly writers, have done a lot of dead end jobs.
Right.
Yeah, and so then we're like, oh man, I have to write about this.
And I'm going to kill my boss.
Yes, exactly.
So from Dead End Jobs, then you went to Death Investigation. Just
Yes.
kind of a graduation, I guess, right?
Oh gosh. So
That's awesome.
So we're laughing away here. I might as well go ahead and do our carafe
I think you should.
question.
Okay, so here's one of our traditions is that when we have, this is a empty wine carafe. We like it when it's full also, but today it's an empty wine carafe. So we've got a bunch of miscellaneous funny little questions.
Okay.
If you don't like your question, pass. We'll get another one.
All
So
right.
you get to pick one. So go ahead,
Okay.
and we can read it for you if you
All
want.
right.
Then you can. The pressure's off. You can think while you're.
Oh, okay. No,
Here,
it's fine.
You do this.
No,
Okay.
I like to do it.
Read
Okay.
slowly. I got up early this morning.
Right? Give you time to think.
Right.
And then you can repeat it. Okay. Oh, this is easy peasy. What did you reward yourself with after you got your first paycheck for writing?
I bought a teddy bear.
That is the most unexpected answer I think I could imagine.
I hope it was a really big teddy bear.
Why a teddy bear?
Well, I've always wanted one.
Okay,
So-
that's excellent.
Whatever it takes to get that book written.
Yeah.
Well, here's the other thing.
Published.
It's a useful teddy bear
Okay.
because I am terribly afraid of needles.
Okay.
And so when I have to go to the dentist or any place that requires needles, I bring my teddy bear.
That is hilarious.
And
And I'm
I-
now picturing you holding the
I
teddy bear.
hold my teddy bear, and it doesn't. At this age, I don't care what people
Right.
think of me.
You're like,
I'm
yes, I have a
bringing
teddy
my
bear.
teddy bear.
That's great.
That
That's
is a great
perfect.
one. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I love it.
mean, at least it wasn't a sports car or something. It's like usually the first contract probably can't afford a sports car. Maybe.
Well,
maybe with yours they did. I don't know.
When I was a newspaper reporter, I got a very good contract, and then I bought a sports
Oh,
car.
okay.
Excellent. That's even better. And the teddy bear could ride along. In it.
I bought a Jaguar.
Oh,
Did you really?
Yes, and I
Nice.
spent the rest on leather, so it was all invested,
that is very
wisely.
nice.
Leather and a Jaguar.
Leather and a Jaguar with
And
a teddy bear.
That should go on the cover of some novel somewhere.
Oh gosh,
I was complimenting Elaine before we got started on the covers of her novels, and she did share that the illustrator or the creator of the cover,
Yes,
she shares that with a particularly famous author.
yes. The Deal with the Devil and 13 Short Stories. The cover is by Gail Cross, and she does Stephen King's covers.
This is not the worst company to keep, especially as you're
know.
going darker in your
I
series.
know, right?
So I'm hoping she rubs off on the book.
Well, it was.
hope so.
I really enjoyed I Spawn, so I know that.
Yeah, we discussed that on one of our other podcasts. And
Yeah.
it was really fun. Okay, so transitioning into the actual nitty gritty,
Yes.
how do you get everything done that you get done? Because in addition to writing over 30 novels, You're very active. I mean, it sounds like you are out doing things like this a lot and volunteering your time.
Mm-hmm.
How do you have some kind of secrets to getting it all done?
I don't. If you'd seen my desk, it looks like a landfill.
Really?
Yes.
That makes me feel a little better.
And if things are sliding off of it, and when too much slides off, I start putting it in suitcases.
No, that's not true. Really?
It is true. And then if I need the suitcase, I have to put things away. Now this week I was all set. I'd finished my work and I was all set to clean off my desk. I was going to spend the entire week cleaning off my desk. And I get an email from my agent who's got my 4th novel, and he says, "We have a nibble, but they want your book longer. You have to add 2,500 words."
Oh, okay.
So
There goes the cleaning.
there goes the cleaning. I got another box out.
I was gonna say, did you have to go buy another suitcase? I mean, are you
No. I found a banker's box and I filled it with everything that slid off one corner. And my husband, who's very neat.
Oh no!
I was like, are we going to
And
see you on
patience.
like Hoarders or something?
Yeah, he's
Close
neat
to-
and patient, I'm guessing.
He keeps saying, "When are you going to clean off your desk?" And I said, "Well, it was scheduled this week."
Right, and in about 2,500 words.
Yes,
is what
would
I'll
you
do.
rather that I clean my desk or finish the book? And he goes, finish the
Finish the
book.
book.
So that's why my desk is never clean. And that's why I never get anything done.
Well, you apparently,
You do get
it
things
works
done.
for you. It must, it
Yeah.
really must work for you because you get took us in the chair and get those words pounded out. So
Well, I've read an article that creative people have messy desks. Now, I've probably taken it
to the
beyond.
extreme. But you're priding yourself on that. This means I'm creative.
Mensa has not called me yet, but
We would like to revoke that card of yours.
Oh, that's good.
I love that. That's awesome. All right. Well, we do have one final question,
okay.
Oh, yes.
right?
Okay, so this is one that we ask all the mysterious foodies out there. That's what we call our listeners because they like mysteries and they like food,
Right.
which we do too, except spaghetti. No more spaghetti.
No more spaghetti.
I ruined spaghetti for you.
Shoot.
Think of it as pasta. You'll be okay.
So, here's the question. Which of your characters would you like to share a meal with, and what would it be?
Okay. I think I'd like to share a meal with Angela Richman, the death investigator. And her favorite restaurant is a Mexican restaurant called Gringo Days.
Gringo days?
Yeah, D-A-Z-E.
Did you make that up?
I
Please
made
tell me
that
you
up.
did.
That's really
That's
good. But now someone needs to open a restaurant in your
I
honor.
know. We'll do it in Lauderdale by the Sea.
And what would you guys have? Well, do you know
Well-
what she'd have? Because she's your character. So
She likes fajitas.
okay.
Okay.
And I'd probably have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Mexican food with flan for dessert.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Pardon
We had to put the dessert in there.
And-
Obviously.
And a lot of guacamole.
Yeah. Yeah.
I love that.
And chips.
I think it's great when you like your character enough that you think, I want to go hang out with you. That means you're writing the right character, right?
I sort of do too after reading this blonde. I'm like, I'm gonna hang out with them. I mean, I don't want her to talk about the
No.
guts and-
She's not allowed to discuss work.
Yeah.
Oh, very nice.
There you go.
Very nice. Okay, so earlier also I was talking with Elaine, and she has this great purse over her shoulder today. And it's absolutely adorable, and it's a little typewriter.
Right.
And so I complimented her on it, and she said it came from...
A reader. And her name is Nancy Smith, and she's really a fan, and she sent it to me as a gift.
That's awesome.
I know. I mean,
know.
what a compliment that
know.
someone
Yeah.
took the time out of their life to not only reach out to you, but send you such a nice, thoughtful gift.
Yeah.
Okay, so the reason I asked that is I know you have a lot of fans. How do you best interact with them? Should they find you on your website or Facebook? What's your best way to connect with people?
Facebook and email. I get a lot of emails.
Oh.
I answer. I'm slow, but I do answer.
Okay.
And I like to hear from people.
Wow, that's a nice...
And I like to hear what they like, and I like to hear what they don't like.
Great.
So, tell me. And
Okay.
but I enjoy hearing from them
Oh,
And so they can find your email on your website, I
on my
guess.
website.
Okay.
Yeah.
all right.
All right.
Great. It is.
Oh, and I have a monthly contest where I give away a book.
What?
Oh, okay.
So just
Okay.
go to my
All right.
website.
Everyone needs to go to ElaineViets.com.
and get her latest books are Ice Blonde and Deal with the Devil.
Deal with the
and
Devil.
13 Stories.
Right.
And you have probably something coming up in the next year, I'm sure, or next month. Who knows?
Well, if I finish those 2,500
Okay, all
words.
right. Just gonna say. So keep looking on the shelves, and it was great talking with you.
Well, thank you.
And if you like listening, then please be sure to subscribe to Game of Books podcast, so you can download our upcoming Corks in Conversation with more published authors just like Elaine Viets, as well as our regular Game of Books episodes where you can get your food, wine, and mystery tips every Friday morning, just in time for the weekend.
Yes, and we'd love to hear from you what you thought about Corks and Conversations with Elaine Viets here today. And you can reach us on Twitter and Facebook at GOB Writers. So this is Christy
And Cathi.
saying thanks for listening.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.